All right, let's dive into a modern classic that asks one of the most brilliant questions I've ever heard. What happens when your deepest, most mortifying secrets accidentally get spilled to the one person who should never, ever know them? Well, we are about to find out.
You know, this quote really gets to the heart of our story. It's the secret wish of our hero, Emma Corrigan, a young woman who kind of feels like she's just sleepwalking through her own life. She's craving something real, something to just shake things up. And oh boy, is she about to get exactly what she wished for.
So, let's set the stage. Let's talk about the single, hilarious, and utterly life-changing incident that kicks this whole unforgettable story into motion. This is, of course, Can You Keep a Secret? From the amazing Sophie Kinsella. It came out way back in 2003 and pretty much set the gold standard for contemporary romantic comedies. It's one of those rare books that perfectly balances laugh-out-loud moments with some seriously genuine heart.
So, who's gonna love this story? Well, if you enjoy rom-coms that actually make you think as much as they make you laugh, this is for you. It's especially perfect for anyone who's trying to survive the madness of corporate life or, just feels that constant pressure to be perfect all the time. And here is the absolutely genius premise. So Emma Corrigan is on a plane, and it hits some seriously scary turbulence. She's convinced this is it. She's going down. So she panics and spills every single secret she has, from the silly little ones to the deeply personal, to the handsome American guy sitting right next to her. Of course, the plane lands safely, but the real turbulence, that starts the next day, when she walks into work and finds out that stranger is Jack Harper, the mysterious co-founder of her company. And that brings us to the glorious, totally cringe-inducing aftermath. Emma's life is about to become an absolute minefield of awkwardness and hilarious tension. The secrets she spilled are just so wonderfully relatable. Like, for instance, she admits to watering her coworker's plant with old orange juice. I mean, it's these little, weird, very human confessions that just make you love her. And oh, it gets so much better. She also confesses that she's been faking her way through smart people conversations at work, pretending she's read classics like Great Expectations, when really she just, glanced at the back cover. The humor just keeps coming. So the setup becomes the engine for the entire story's comedy. Jack Harper, her boss, now knows everything, from her G-string preferences to the fibs on a resume. Every single meeting is just loaded with the possibility that he's going to drop a little hint, which of course he does with this charming, knowing little smile. But here's the thing. Underneath all the brilliant comedy, this story is really exploring something much, much deeper. The incredible power of being truly seen for who you really are. This quote right here from Emma talking about her ex-boyfriend, this is the key to her whole journey. She feels like an imposter in her own life, like she's constantly putting on an act, always worried that she's just not good enough. That fear of being found out is always there. And that feeling perfectly sets up the book's central theme. It's really a story about the search for authentic connection, that amazing, rare bond you find with someone who sees all your quirks, all your insecurities, all your not-so-perfect parts, and doesn't just accept them, but loves you because of them. Which brings us to the romantic climax of the story, where Emma's absolute greatest fear becomes her greatest liberation. Okay, so just as Emma and Jack are getting closer, he goes on national television, and in this bizarre attempt to describe his company's target audience, he just starts listing all of Emma's secrets, one by one, to the entire world. It is her worst nightmare come to life. Her weight, her secret love for ABBA, it is all out there. Emma is, as you can imagine, completely shattered. She feels betrayed, humiliated, just destroyed. But just when you think it's all over, Jack finds her, ready to prove that what he did was a huge, colossal mistake, but his feelings for her are real. And the way he does it, it's just perfect. To win her back, he doesn't just apologize. He meets her vulnerability with his own. He stands right in front of her, and he starts confessing his secrets, not just the funny ones, but the real, human, vulnerable ones. He makes himself just as exposed as she feels. And this is the beautiful payoff. Their love story isn't about overcoming her flaws. It's built on the fact that her accidental, panicked honesty was the most real thing he had ever encountered. He fell for the real Emma, right from the very beginning. So after all that, what's the final takeaway from this wonderful and surprisingly wise story? Well, the final lesson is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. True connection isn't about finding someone who thinks you're perfect. It's about finding someone who knows you're not and loves you anyway. Our quirks, our flaws, they're what make us unique. And being brave enough to let someone see them, that's the real foundation of love.
So our final verdict? This book is an absolute gem. It's so much more than a rom-com. It's a story about the freedom that comes from being loved for exactly who you are. It's a perfect read, and for us, it's a resounding 10 out of 10.
Now, if you adored this story and you're looking for what to read next, we highly recommend another Sophie Kinsella classic, I've Got Your Number. It has a really similar theme of accidental intimacy. And of course, you have to read the iconic Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding, which is basically the spiritual godmother of this whole genre.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. What if the things we're most afraid of people finding out about us, our secrets, our imperfections, what if they aren't weaknesses at all? What if they are, in fact, the very key to unlocking the deepest and most real connections of our lives? That's all for this explainer. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to follow and subscribe for more insights into the stories that shape our world. We will see you next time.